The conversation on Politics Live with Chris Bryant was not really about Rwanda and about the Rwanda scheme or about the vote on Tuesday. It was about recognizing the fractured nature of the Conservative Party and whether or not that is sufficient to govern, whether or not one can govern a country if the governing party is in such a mess that it cannot control its troops, that it doesn't know whether or not it can get a law through Parliament, even though it has a significant majority. So if Rishi Sunak manages to limp through on Tuesday with a slim majority for his Rwanda bill, he will still face further difficulty in the next bill after that, because the rebels have scented blood and they're going to do everything else to cause problems. And the Labour Party have recognised that this is about emphasising disunity in the Conservative Party and saying, well, why not call a confidence vote? Why not make this an issue of confidence? Do you have confidence in this vote, in this bill, Prime Minister? And if you don't have confidence in this bill, why should anybody else? And let's make it a confidence vote. And if you lose, that's then a general election. And I think, therefore, Rishi Sunak will never make this a confidence vote because he knows that his support on his own backbenches is brittle. And so you're back in the position that I think we last saw in the fading days of Callaghan. It's a long time ago since we were really in this position, because this is not like the chaos of Theresa May, though there are parallels. So beyond that sort of constitutional aspect of the vote on Tuesday, there's also the question, which again the BBC fails to pick up. The BBC, I'm not sure who is it who does politics live. Anyway. She was saying, this is a deterrent. The Rwanda plan is a deterrent. Well, that's an interpretation, and that's what the government wants it to be. But at the same time, the government is also saying that Rwanda is a safe country, and Rwanda is a place where people can rebuild their lives. So it can't be a deterrent if at the same time it's a safe country and it's a place where people can rebuild their lives, and it's a place of great importance in the growing reputation of Africa. It can't be the same thing. The worst place you could be sent to is Rwanda. Transport for life? No. So if I were Paul Kagame, which of course I'm not, I would feel offended by the idea that Rwanda is being identified as a deterrent. Rwanda is the place where you transport people for life, rather like Australia or New Zealand. It's not a good image, and I don't think the Conservative Party have got round their problem about this. Certainly, the Labour Party don't have an equivalent because they don't want to deal with that nonsense. The Labour Party's plan is to get the Home Office to do their job and clear the backlog. Absolutely. That's exactly the same plan I've got. I would go further, and I would say there has to be an international conference to sort out exactly who merits refugee status in our changing world. And until we've done that, the 1951 Refugee Convention says that anybody who comes to our country by a legal or illegal route is entitled to claim asylum. And if they claim asylum, their case has to be considered, and if it's not successful, they're booted out. At that point, they become an illegal immigrant. I don't think Suella Braverman's law, when it's challenged in the courts, will hold water, because it doesn't square with international law. And her obsession with notwithstanding clauses, I think this is a new word she's discovered. Notwithstanding clauses. Notwithstanding is a code word in law, which means just ignore the previous paragraph. And you would have to be a lawyer with a particular frame of mind that recognizes all these coded words in law. Really, we shouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't be in a position where law has got words which don't mean what they say. And we should call on the Law Society and people who are teaching law to buck their to buck up and pull their socks up and stop being ridiculous. And because we can't have something. We can't have something that means two different things at the same time, just because you want it to. Yes, the confidence vote. The confidence vote. We can't have somebody, Rishi Sunak, being tossed and turned this way and that. Well, I don't really care how Rishi Sunak is being tossed. It's not important. What's important to recognise now is that Rishi Sunak is in an end game, and he's got to make a decision about how to finish his tenure with dignity. And I don't think Rwanda is the way forward.